Hello everyone. I hope your quarantine is going well and you're staying safe, healthy, and sane during these at-home times. I know that I myself even tend to find my wheels spinning a little bit while I'm working at home. And sometimes it can be great to have a reset at the end of the day to take yourself out of your head, out of your mind, out of work mode, and in towards a relaxed sleep mode. So you can get good rest and do it again better in the morning. Let your eyes close. Arrive at your mat and tune in with your breath. As you feel the air moving in and out of your nostrils, begin to visualize that with each exhale, there's sort of a full feeling in the whole body, and that fullness begins to empty from the top of the head down. And it just empties with the volume of your breath on each exhale. So feel your brain starting to empty. The space behind your eyes. Your jaw, your neck and throat. Your shoulders and chest. Your arms. Empty the middle of your torso. Empty down to your diaphragm and belly. Empty at the level of your navel and below. Empty the hips and empty the legs. And imagine, or maybe even feel, that you are lighter here after that emptying. Balanced on your bones. Just breathing. We'll begin movement with the quiet mind, and I invite you to use any of your exhales during this practice to continue to empty downward. You can rub your palms together, create a little heat between them. And if your hands are clean, place them over your eyes gently, not pressing or anything, just letting that heat diffuse into your skull. And slowly remove the hands, maybe rubbing the temples a bit if there's tension there, or the jaw area. And lift the arms up out to the side and all the way overhead Tilt the head to look towards them and slowly blink open the eyes. Take a deeper breath in, send that expansion all the way down to your belly and lower rib cage. And with one giant exhale, empty again everything down to the floor. And find your way to hands and knees on your mat. So we're just going to do a flow to get the blood moving in the body, and we'll come back into child's pose. From child's pose, we'll lift up, leading with the back of the neck and the hands, and stand up onto the knees, stretch all the way up with an inhale. Exhale, come back down to child's pose. Inhale onto all fours and fall into cow posture, letting the spine fall towards the floor, lifting the head up, staying long in the neck. Shoulders back away from the head. And we'll tuck the toes under and move into downward dog. Really feel one of your exhales here in this pose. You can bend the knees a lot, maybe walking out the hips. And then we'll come back through cow pose and into child's pose with an exhale. And that's the flow. We'll come up leading with the hands and back of the neck all the way tall, celebration pose. Exhale, back to child's pose. With the space of one breath, we'll come up into cow pose and exhale down into downward dog pose, lifting the pelvis towards the sky, pushing through the hands and feet, gently feeling the stretch of your body. We'll inhale back into cow pose and exhale back into child's pose. Continue moving with the speed of your breath, faster if you need to, as we'll do just one breath per motion. Exhale, child's. Inhale, cow. Exhale, down dog. Cow pose, inhale. Exhale, round the spine forward and down as you come into child's pose. Really curling tight with the torso. Stretching long with the arms. Inhale, cow pose. Sorry. You caught me. Celebration pose. All the way tall. Exhale, down. Inhale, cow pose now. And exhale, downward dog. This time we'll come all the way forward from the downward dog into, you can drop down and lower into a cobra. An upward dog if you're already feeling flexible today. And then back into child's pose. And we'll just move through that a couple of times with that extra into celebration. Exhale, child's. Inhale, maybe all the way to upward dog. Exhale, down dog. And maybe you can just see in your mind's eye what a dog looks like when it stretches before bed or as it wakes up. Maybe you decide to even open your jaw, stick out your tongue, give a yawn. And at this point, I invite you to just move through those 2 or 3 postures at whatever pace or order you feel. Follow your breath and your body. Where does it take you? Continue breathing. Continue stretching. And we'll come into our last child's pose and pause. Settling into the ground. And then walk the hands towards the knees. Sitting on the heels or on a pillow between the feet. We'll just sit tall here and use the imagination again to think of something or somebody or an energy of proudness, regalness. Think of something that you have to be proud of, or that you have domain or control over. If you'd like, you can still continue to hold that pose and stretch the feet the other way by tucking the toes underneath. Might involve a little more intensity. Try to relax weight down through your sit bones and into the ball of your feet. And then we'll take that imagination, power of imagination, and once more back into child's pose, this time thinking of something that you are submissive to, humble for, grateful for, worshipful of. And explore with your body micro movements, maybe stretching longer. Is there any way that you can make this gesture more effective for you? Next we'll sit back on the heels, but this time bring the feet out to one side and the legs out in front. Reach in to hug the knees. Make sure you have some space behind you and roll back. Just feeling the weight of your spine, the weight of your back as it contacts the floor. Maybe kicking up onto your shoulders a little bit. And if that's a comfortable move for you, go ahead and bring your elbows to the ground during one of the times that you roll towards your shoulders. And we don't have to do a full shoulder stand here, but just catch the hips and allow the legs to be above the heart, the hips to be above the heart. This isn't feeling so good for you. You could use a pillow to prop yourself up, or even just putting the feet in the air while you're laying flat on your back. No need to stretch here at all, although moving the ankle joints, the toe joints, and the knees can be nice. Just squeezing out the tension from the legs and letting the blood flow back to the heart. You can explore with some gentle massage on your legs. We spend all day upright, most of it at least. And a big part of resting is allowing all those circulation systems that feed our body to function at a restful level themselves. So wherever you're at, we'll bring the hips back down to the ground, bring the feet back down to the ground. And separate the feet apart, hip width or a little bit wider, and we'll just let the knees fall gently off to the left. Feet planted where they are. And we'll slowly lift them back up and let them fall off to the right. And off to the left again. Alternating left and right, just at your own pace. I encourage you to move slower than you feel like you want to. And get curious about what is happening with that motion. What's happening in your glute and your lower back? What's happening in your hip joint? Send some breath down there to the pelvis. And empty with your exhales. Maybe even letting your eyes close here. And wherever side you're on, why don't we lift the arms up over the head and stretch long. And while you're up on that one hip, stretch the legs long too, as long as it's feeling safe for the lower back. Just give a little bit of length to the legs, and then roll back over to the other hip. And again, stretch the legs in that direction, all the way from the legs to the fingertips. We'll come back to that first side, this time with the heels on the floor and the sacrum on the floor as well. So we're not rolling up on the hips anymore. We'll just walk the heels off towards the right. Walk the shoulder blades and fingertips off the right as well. So you're kind of in a crescent shape. And direct that stretching feeling towards the left side of your body if you're crescenting towards the right. Right side if you're crescenting left. Increase that stretch with an inhale. And on an exhale, notice an even compression along the right side of your body, all the way from your hips to your shoulders, stretching the long side and compressing the short side. We'll come back to neutral slowly and then walk the feet off towards the left. Arms still long above you. Exhale into that compression and inhale into the stretch. Explore the opposite as well. Hold the stretch large with your musculature as you exhale. And maybe try to expand the area that's shorter with your inhale. There are very few hard and fast rules in yoga. A lot of it comes back to what feels good in your body. And all of it comes back to taking the time to notice. We'll bring the arms back down along the sides. And again, hug the knees in. We'll hang on to the right knee, especially both hands on the right knee, and bring it outside the body. And a little closer, if possible, towards the chest. Notice how your hips bend differently depending on whether your knee is in towards the center line of your body or more along the outside. And with that right leg in a comfortable position, we'll extend and reach with the left leg long and bring it outside even farther, just exploring the full range of motion of that left hip at half speed, a nice slow motion. And if it's all right with you, you could even bring a hand to that left hip just to facilitate awareness of what's going on there. Maybe the knee even moves across the center line. You can experiment with moving with your breath and possibly changing directions. Turning on the muscles as well as turning off those that are tight unnecessarily. Whatever size your circle will benefit you. Maybe you switch directions each time you go around. Maybe you play with an internal and external rotation at various spots. And then we'll hug the left knee with the hands, encouraging a little extra stretch with that knee coming towards the floor outside the body. Empty with your exhale and begin to move the right leg in the same way, a full range of motion. Maybe you're even getting the ankle involved. Maybe moving with the breath. You could play with bringing the heel all the way down to the floor, but that could be also dangerous or just straining on your lower back. If you do bring your feet low down, just make sure that you can feel your lower back against the floor, that you're not arching and rolling your pelvis down to the floor just to get your legs long. We want to feel in that spot, ideally, like there's a lot of strength and support in the core, especially around the lower back. Otherwise, there's no need to go too far down. Just keep the sacrum flat on the ground. Breathe into your back body, breathe into the hip. Internally and externally rotating in different spots. Moving as slow or as fast as your body needs. And then again, we'll stretch the legs up overhead. Maybe reaching to grab the toes if that's available to you. Backs of the knees or calves are fine as well. The pelvis can come up off the floor a little bit, but try to let it be heavy, especially at the sit bone end of the pelvis. Let those sink towards the floor. And one more time, we'll hug the knees in towards the chest, together or to the outside, whichever feels best for you. And this time we'll roll side to side. And then we'll take the knees 90 degrees from the floor and you can let that left foot relax down while you cross the right foot over the left knee. And we're going to reach behind the left knee, grab onto the calf or grab onto the thigh, and pull that knee any amount towards your torso while you kind of encourage the right knee to move away from your torso with your right elbow. This is known as figure 4 or a supine pigeon pose. Really good hip opener. And I encourage a little bit of resistance with that right knee, maybe gently pushing the right knee into the right elbow if the elbow is there. You could also use the palm of your hand. You'll notice with that push that the sensation of stretch deepens. And if this is feeling okay with you, we'll roll again onto the left side. So the right foot will come to the floor. Try to keep the knee moving away from the torso and open your right shoulder up, arm above the head for a twist. Breathe into your core, checking that you're not compromising your lower back with this twist. Most of the twist happens in your chest. So feel a musculature supporting your lower back, not trying to push the twist into your lower back, your lumbar spine. You're just relaxing your right shoulder towards gravity, opening the rib cage, and maybe feeling some stretch in that right hip as the knee continues to move away from you. And we'll bring that back towards neutral. If it's comfortable for you, a little counter stretch is nice. Pulling the right foot in by the hips and letting the knee come down for an internally rotated right leg. If it's not quite comfortable to let the top of the foot come down to the mat, I'll demonstrate with my left foot here, like that. It's also fine to just sort of bring that foot to the outside of your mat and let the leg roll in. Wherever you are, be careful of the knee and be sure that it's the femur rotating and the thigh and not the knee joint. And then we'll take the figure 4 on the second side, holding the back of the right knee, pulling that thigh towards the torso as you push the left knee away with either your elbow or the palm of your left hand. Encourage you not to push any of your stretches too hard. You really want to loosen the tightnesses with the exhale, emptying the tension from the body. And not trying to focus on ripping the muscles. All stretching involves micro tears, so there's no need to rush it in towards injury. You should be able to feel stable and secure wherever your body is today. And when you're ready, we can let that foot fall towards the mat, up onto the right hip, letting the left shoulder down, and reach that left arm a little bit above the head to help the front of the shoulder open. Still encouraging the left knee to move away from the body. And an externally rotated left leg. Inhale support into your lower back. Inhale expansion into your rib cage. And exhale the tension out from wherever you feel it. And then we'll let the legs stretch long on the mat again, coming back towards neutral. And we'll head towards the final pose, Shavasana. If you'd like, You can use what's called an eye pillow. It's basically a little beanbag about the shape that would fit over your eyes with some soft fabric. And it can be filled with rice or any other kind of grain. This one has a little bit of lavender in it for extra relaxation. And you just place it over your eyes. The weight there helps the eyes relax, which helps the brain relax, which helps the rest of the body relax. Shutting out the light. Even after a mellow yoga practice, it's important to, and should probably be, enjoyable to sink into a period of stillness and shavasana. You can slowly micro-adjust your body, letting length come into your joints as the muscles relax. And think all the joints as well, not just the elbows and knees and shoulders and hips, but all the little joints in your fingers, in your feet, in your rib cage, in your neck. Find the place where your body sits in stillness very easily. If there's any discomfort at all, try to help it go away with a pillow, usually under the head or the knees. Sometimes the arms can help. And once you've found that still position, invite just a small amount of tension to come into your hands and feet without letting them move, or minimal motion. A small amount of tension in the arms and legs, hips and shoulders, the torso, the neck and head, even the face. Just invite ever so slightly of an action in there with as many muscles as you can bring your awareness to. We'll take a deep breath in and hold that light tension. And relax all of it with that exhale. Into perfect stillness for just a few more minutes. Notice the stillness of your eyes. Notice the stillness of your fingers. Notice the stillness of your jaw and tongue. Notice the stillness of your feet. Scan the body for tension. If relaxing that tension involves some movement, that's okay, but otherwise we are completely still. And even maybe relaxing into our tensions if they don't want to be released. Sometimes allowing those tensions to exist is part of the path to relaxation. Feel free to pause the recording to continue your Shavasana. Turn it into an all-night experience if you'd like. When you're ready to come out, move the fingers and toes first. We'll send a breath to the wrists and ankles. We'll stretch long on the floor. And we'll roll to our right side. Letting the head be supported by the arms or hands. And staying in that state that your body arrived at through the relaxation of Shavasana. Eyes staying closed even. Come up to a comfortable seat. And we'll close with a relaxing pranayama, a bumblebee pranayama. Think of the bees and the flowers on a sunny day. We're actually going to plug the ears, not yet so you can hear me. But you can stick the fingers directly in the ears, again, if they're clean. And experiment yourself with how deeply you'd like to plug the ears. Sometimes you get a certain resonant frequency with your voice and the pressure that you're putting on your ears. Ideally, it's light and your elbows are relaxed. And we're going to plug the ears and just do 3 breaths with long, low humming noise on the exhales. So we'll exhale together and inhale to begin. using those vibrations to empty not only the larger parts and pieces of your body, but the little itty bitty tiny ones as well. Have a peaceful night. Namaste.